She left for luxury, returned in tears. The goodbye kiss that broke us. The street was quiet, the type of quiet that felt heavy, like the air itself was waiting. The taxi had just pulled up in front of our small, two-bedroom flat in Billoniare, its engine humming like it was in a hurry to leave. I watched her from the window, my chest rising and falling as if I could suffocate any moment. She was standing there, holding her small, expensive handbag, a gift I could barely afford when I bought it for her on her last birthday. Her eyes, once soft and searching, now looked far away, like they had already arrived in the world she was running to. "Cola, you know I love you, but love doesn't pay the bills," she said, her voice trembling yet firm. I wanted to scream, to beg her to stay, but my pride, that foolish, stubborn pride, stitched my lips together. I watched her kiss me on the cheek, not the lips, no. That privilege had died long before this day. It was the kind of kiss that closed a chapter, the kind that told you someone had already written the next page without you in it. And just like that, she turned and left, the door clicking softly behind her like the final punctuation of a goodbye letter. I sank into the old, torn couch and let the silence wrap around me like a heavy blanket. The walls of our flat seemed to close in, the peeling paint now more visible, the smell of old bread more pungent. Everything reminded me of her, of us, of what we used to dream together. I closed my eyes, hoping that when I opened them, she would walk back through that door, laughing and telling me it was all a test. But when I opened them, there was only the faint scent of her perfume, already beginning to fade. Weeks passed like years. The streets of Billoniare, once alive with our shared laughter, became a graveyard of memories. I returned to my mechanic workshop, where the grease-stained uniforms and the constant clanking of metal served as a noisy distraction. The boys at the shop noticed the change in me. Tunde, my closest friend, tried to pull me out of my misery. "Cola, she made her choice. Omo, you go kill yourself because of woman." "Ino Wortham," he said, handing me a bottle of Coke as we sat outside the workshop under the harsh Lagos sun. "Tunde, you no go understand. When person carry your heart waka komot, ide pain pass wound. Abeg, make we go bar beach this weekend. Get small fresh air." I nodded, not because I wanted to, but because I needed to pretend I was still part of the living. On Saturday, we went to Bar Beach. The breeze was salty, and the sound of the waves crashing on the shore reminded me that life was still moving. I sat there, staring into the endless water, wondering if she was thinking about me too. Did she miss the sound of my heartbeat? Did the soft touch of expensive sheets comfort her the way my rough hands used to? Her social media told a different story. Pictures of her in gold-plated lounges, sipping champagne, surrounded by men in suits with hollow smiles. She had found the luxury she wanted. But her eyes, those same eyes I used to lose myself in, now looked tired, even in the midst of shiny things. Months turned into years. I built myself back, brick by painful brick. The workshop grew. I trained more boys, expanded the place, bought better tools. I even bought a car, not brand new, but good enough to carry me through the chaotic streets of Lagos. Still, I never fully let go of her memory. I didn't allow myself to fall in love again. Love had betrayed me once. I didn't give it a second chance. One rainy evening 5 years later, I was driving back from a late job when I saw a figure, drenched, sitting by the roadside, hugging herself tightly. There was something familiar about her. I slowed down and pulled over. "Excuse me, are you okay?" She looked up, and time slammed into me like a moving danfo. It was her, Amaka. Her once vibrant skin, now pale, her hair scattered and soaked, her eyes carrying the weight of 1,000 regrets. "Cola," she whispered, as if saying my name would somehow erase the years of distance. I didn't know what to say. I opened the car door, and she slipped inside, shivering. The car filled with silence, heavy, loaded with unsaid words. "Life happened to me," she said softly, her voice cracking. "The luxury was never mine. I was just a visitor in that world. When they had enough of me, they threw me away. I drove her to a small restaurant. Over steaming plates of jollof rice, she poured out her story, the heartbreak, the loneliness, the betrayal by the very man she left me for. I thought I was chasing comfort, but I was actually running into chains, she confessed, tears slipping down her cheeks. Why now, Amaka? Why come back now? I needed to see you, to say I'm sorry, to tell you that you were enough all along. Forgiveness is not a light switch. It's not something you can flip on just because someone says sorry. But looking at her, broken, stripped of pride, I realized that I wasn't the same Kola she left behind. Time had changed me. Pain had matured me. I forgave you a long time ago, Amaka, but we can't go back. We are not the same people anymore. She nodded, understanding. We parted that night with a soft, lingering hug. No promises, no second chances, just closure. As she walked away into the rainy night, I realized that sometimes the goodbye kiss that breaks us is also the one that sets us free. But life was not finished with us yet. 2 weeks later, she showed up again, this time at my workshop. My boys stared as if they had seen a ghost. Amaka came not to beg, not to plead, but to ask for a job. The corporate world is closed to me now. My name is no longer welcomed where it once opened doors. I want to start again. Please, let me learn this work. Let me learn how to fix something, even if it's just cars. The request shocked me, but there was something sincere in her desperation. I allowed her to join the workshop. My boys mocked her at first, whispering about her nails, her soft hands, her designer bag that now looked out of place in a mechanic's shop. But she endured. Day after day, Amaka scrubbed oil from her fingers, took instructions, and even got her own blue overalls. Slowly, she earned the respect of the boys. Slowly, she became part of our team. And slowly, I saw the woman she used to be before the dreams of wealth consumed her. Over the years, our friendship rebuilt itself, brick by cautious brick. There were no romantic advances. We had both grown beyond that. She told me she was dating again, a good man this time, someone simple. I told her about a woman I met at church, a woman who had helped me smile again. We became friends, and in that friendship, we found healing. Amaka eventually left the workshop, opened a small tire business nearby. She became known in the community not as the woman who chased luxury, but as the woman who rebuilt her life from scratch. On her wedding day, she invited me. I attended, and when it was time for her to give her speech, she looked at me through teary eyes and said, "Sometimes the person who helps you heal is the same person you once broke. Kola, you taught me how to live again." We hugged one last time, a hug filled with gratitude, maturity, and peace. And when I walked away from that hall, I realized that the goodbye kiss that once broke me had also written the most beautiful ending to our story. Thank you for joining me on this emotional journey. Life doesn't always bring us back to where we started, but sometimes it teaches us to let go with grace. This is Classic Tales TV. Watch out for the next episode.